Now, Dan, tell me all of your feelings about fighter pay and why the UFC hates its own staff.
Oh, I want to get fired. Here are 10 reasons why I want to get fired.
No, seriously, how was Christmas in New York? How's it been getting back home finally? And what's it been like, man? I haven't spoken to you in a while. Missed you. What's new?
Nah, it's been pretty wild since we last spoke. Like, yeah, I went out to New York, spent Christmas with like family out there, which was cool. Like New York's sick. Um, very cold, but besides that, a very cool place. So I was like walking the city, um, just exploring and getting to know somewhere new. Come back to New Zealand, which was also like quite the experience. You know, coming back into like the going. This is like my third trip through like the quarantine system, and then like back into New Zealand, which is like it's funny. It's funny that like because you come from America where like absolutely everyone you possibly know has like had COVID at like one stage or another, and then you come back to New Zealand, and because they've kept it out, it's like so foreign. So when people like find out you've had COVID, because I had COVID when I was in America, um, yeah, that's like I don't know. It's like telling them you've got like this terrible disease that's gonna like kill you, and you're just like, nah, like it's. Well, I was like watching the news yesterday, and they were interviewing. They had a guy on the news just to interview him because he'd had COVID. Like that's how foreign like the whole thing is over here, just because they have like kept it out for so long that it's like a so then to come back here and everyone's like and it was in the rear vision mirror, and as Frankie Angle says, it's in the COVID's in the rear vision mirror, bud. We moved on. Same as in the UK where we're going, it's all kind of shifted past it. So it's like I don't know, time traveling, I guess.
I was going to say, it feels like you've gone back 6 months where it's still like, oh shit. I mean, God, I mean, as you know, like everyone in America has had it, and everyone in the UK certainly caught it over Christmas. It feels like so. It must be a bit weird going back. It must be a bit like, oh God, seriously, are we still having this conversation? Even now, we're talking about COVID. I'm sure everyone watching is just like, oh, for fuck's sake, but it is part of the life.
Yeah. Like as far as I'm concerned, it's the show rolls on. Like nothing changes. I'm excited. It's cool to get back in New Zealand, get back with all the team before they head off. Like obviously Bloods, Carlos, and Israel are going in a couple of weeks. So it's like catching the tail end of their camp. Just being in the gym with everyone again, it's like been really cool. Just seeing all my teammates again. You kind of take it all like for granted, I guess. Like your team, you expect like your team to always be there, and then when it's not, like when you can't prepare like you want to prepare with your teammates, it makes you kind of really appreciate them.
I was about to say, so going back and being able to work with Izzy and the boys, because I saw your story the other day where he was just German suplexing everyone onto a pad over and over. It must be like, oh yeah, this is what it's meant to be like when I'm training for a fight. I forgot about this, as opposed to just running in the park all day.
Yeah. Like it wasn't until like we were training that I was like, man, like I really haven't had this for a while. It's like good, man. Like it's yeah, because I'm like on my second week of like training camp for this fight, and it's just like it's nothing else compares to the training back home. It's just so intense, so rigorous, and so like just so many people around you that care, like that just really like give a shit about give a shit about you. You know what I mean? Like everyone's got your back. Like you got all your people around you, and everyone's like pulling in the same direction to get the job done. So I just missed it.
It's a bit of camaraderie that, I know you had Frank over here and stuff, but realistically, like it's never going to be the same as the people you've come up with at the same time, right? So it must be nice just to be like, oh fuck, like when I'm having a bad day, these guys are here, vice versa. I can imagine that being refreshing. Onto the fight itself, Arnold Allen in London, a place I'm quite familiar with. How did the fight come about? When did they hit you up and say, all right, let's do featherweight and let's do Arnold?
Well, got back to New Zealand, like absolute nightmare. Like got back to New Zealand and was still, because I'd have COVID like weeks before that. Like I was still testing positive back in New Zealand. Obviously, because like in America they do like a normal swab
Yeah.
to see if you've got COVID. Like New Zealand does like a brain scan. Like they stick that sucker up there and they got some old COVID. So then they'll get back to New Zealand, quarantine. They're all panicking. Wouldn't let me out of my room. Wouldn't take my trash from my room. Uh, yeah, like no laundry, nothing. Like
You ever get the
they just
sense that
locked
you're
the
not
door.
wanted?
They just locked the door, and I was like, guys, look, I've had it. Like, you can't catch it. I'm pretty sure you can't catch it twice in 2 weeks or 3 weeks. Like, settle down, settle down. It's under control. But then apparently they tested my COVID, and then they could tell it was old COVID, which I told them. So they at least they let me out. But yeah, I was like locked in my room, everyone in the hotel panicking. And then then Sean Shelby messaged me and he's just like, hey, you want to fight Arnold Allen March 19th? And I said, hey, Kai fights the following weekend. Can we do it then? And he said, no, I can't move him off the state. And I was just like, oh, that's weird, but all right then. I tried to do something smart. And then I was telling my coaches and stuff. I was like, yeah, fighting like March 19th, took a fight, and they're just like, oh, the London card. And I was like, oh, the London card. I was like, I didn't know that when I accepted the fight. So it was all but now like once it got like rumor, I got chucked into the rumor mill. Like a lot of people from the UK are like messaging me and they're just excited because I guess it's very rarely you get like two international guys fighting on a overseas card. It's like quite a rarity. Like an Australasian to go up there and fight someone from the UK is pretty uncommon. So I'm excited, man. Like I've never been out to the UK, so I'm pumped to get out there and just explore and have some see the homeland. If I get booed, I'm gonna be very upset. I'm gonna be very surprised. It's like, mate, we have the same queen. How can you boo me? We have the same queen. We're like distant cousins or something.
Yeah, I mean, she's on your mind. I mean, to be fair, she's old. She might. No, she'll be fine this year. But she's on your money. It's funny in what you just said. You actually just gave yourself your autobiography title, Dan Hooker's story. I tried to do something smart. You should just name that. That's the book, right there and there.
I tried. I get points. I get points for the attempt. Nah, it's just can't help myself. It's all like I'm at the point now where just can't help myself. Just get.
I don't think you'll get paid. I think
it
you're
just like plays on. Yeah, it just like plays on your mind. Like you get it, and you're just like, whoa. Just sitting there thinking. It took all of 5 minutes, and I just go, oh, all right.
Like, here we go.
I was like, you know what? I'm gonna see if I can move it a week so I can have my coaches there. Yeah, that's a smart call, Dan. Tried that, gave it an attempt. He's like, I should have clicked when he goes, I can't move him off that date. I should have been like, oh, why can't he move him off that date? And then maybe I should have Googled, are there cards not in Las Vegas? Like there's all of these things could have been done in hindsight.
So are you not going to have your coaches in your corner again for this fight?
Nah, I don't know. We'll see. I guess we're like winging that because they're all going over with if you're going over with Israel and then they're stuck. Like New Zealand's just closed the border again. Like they've just no one.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Like even the lottery they've paused that because of Omicron. They paused the lottery.
Oh mate, they just don't want you in there. Fucking hell.
Yeah. I'm like, that doesn't make like it's like the least dangerous strain of COVID has like the most restrictions.
Jesus.
Very confusing.
So when you go to London, there's no, again, we've been here before, there's no guarantee you can go back to New Zealand.
I can't go back. No. Like, shout out, but oh well, I don't care.
You get that sense
I'm
of
like,
deja vu, you know, where something's happening again and again.
Yeah. It's like the saying. Like, I'm at the point now where it's just like whatever. I'm just gonna go there, and then just go on holiday until I can get back in.
Are you taking the family over with you?
They couldn't even get back into New Zealand, so they're in Australia.
Mate, it's not been an easy couple of months for you, has it? I didn't know any of that. I thought they were with you, but then I did notice you were in quarantine by yourself. But I was like, well, he probably only just got back in there by the skin of his teeth. But so are they going to meet you in London?
I haven't decided that with the missus yet. Whether yeah, like I don't know, because I might go like 2 weeks. This is all up in the air. This is a Dan plan, so it's pretty last minute. I might go like 2 weeks before, just because it's so far away. It's like the furthest place from New Zealand you could possibly go to. That's as far as you could possibly get from New Zealand. So I might go an extra week early. Well, I got some mates out there too.
I was thinking you were going to go to Houston with the guys, stay there for a bit, and then go from there to London, because then you'd break your trip up, right? You'd go from America, London. That would be. I'm not telling you how to do your schedule, but that might be an idea.
Who's in Houston?
Well, Izzy's fighting in Houston.
And then what? Who do I train with?
Well, if you just said they're going to be stuck there, aren't they? Train with them.
After a fight, post-fight Israel was like not the most constructive training partner.
That's a fair point. I hadn't thought about that. Yeah,
it would be like 7 a.m. and I'll just be like, well, looks like it's just me again. Nah, like, yeah, I've got like 50 good training partners back here in New Zealand. I would like to pick up them. That would be great. Nah, soldier through it, I reckon. Break it into two. You're just making it 2 missions. Then you'll get equally as tired from 2 missions. Just do it in one. Tough titties, suck it up, sit on the plane, and then you're there. Don't worry about it.
It's like a 24-hour flight, right? Or like broken up. It's 24 hours from New Zealand to London, isn't it? Ish.
I think it's like 20. It's like 24 hours flight time. So that's like even without like layovers or anything like that, it's 24 hours actual travel on the plane.
You just like fighting in fucking really obscure places, don't you? Like Abu Dhabi.
I'm actually excited about it now. It took a week where I was just like, how is this gonna play out? But when else am I gonna go? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
When else am I gonna go?
It's good for me. I get to go home and watch you at the same time. So I appreciate you. I know that was very much your first. That was your first thought, you know. So, and listen, I'm sure my parents will gladly allow me to volunteer their house if you need somewhere to stay in London. If you can't move anywhere, so you're welcome.
Wonderful.
What do you think of Arnold Allen as an opponent? I mean, that's like the most cliche way to ask that question. But what, good winning streak. He's obviously a guy on the rise. What do you think of him? I know that there was Ortega in you and stuff like that, but what about him as an opponent?
Oh, that's all just kicking the bucket, eh? It's just like letting people know kind of your intention with the division when you call out those bigger name guys. I think it's a definitely opponent that I couldn't look past. I guess definitely an opponent that's worth getting on a plane for that long to fight. Like you get past Arnold Allen, you're right back in the mix. Like 8-fight win streak, undefeated in UFC. Like he has accomplished a lot. Yeah, he's just a fighter that hasn't. He's got all the credentials, just hasn't crossed over into and got himself like a big name yet, or hasn't really crossed that trajectory yet. That's why it's like such an exciting fight. Like there's a lot at stake. Whoever wins this fight is in the mix for title contention, and definitely is fighting one of those big name guys, Cato, Ortega. Like they all come next after this fight, without a doubt.
Yeah, he's one of those guys who I think, like you said, he hasn't had that breakout performance yet, but people who have followed him know how good he is. So assumably the UFC brass will feel the same. And also, you know, it's never a bad thing to, you know, I imagine the London crowd are going to be pretty like hot for this. Obviously, they haven't had a UFC in a while. So if you win, spectacular fashion, crowd goes crazy. It's a good thing to stake your claim in the division, right?
Oh, without a doubt, like he's a gun, man. Like I definitely knew who Arnold Allen was before this fight. That's why it's like a funny fight, whereas the skill is there. Like he is like one of the best guys in the division, but doesn't have that name recognition, which does make it a dangerous fight. Those are like the most dangerous fights when you're the one with a lot to lose in the fight, and that's like the position that I'm kind of in.
And so he'll also be looking at you, right? Like, oh, this is like Dan Hook is a big name. I can make my name off of him. So we've kind of seen this dynamic before, but I mean, it sounds like you're aware of that anyway.
That's the game. Like the UFC always matches fights where it's like win-win for them. Like it's like a win-win for the UFC regardless. It's like either they get me in the mix for like one of those other big name fights and we get like a massive fight coming off that, or yeah, like you get a 8-0 fighter without name recognition to take out a guy with a bigger name, and then he takes all of that name and for himself. Like that's the sport. Any fight is a win-win for the UFC, or they don't match it.
I don't know if Saturday night was a win-win for them.
Unlucky.
I mean, not that you could tell with Dana sprinting out of the arena before the fight ended or whatever, but yeah.
See ya. He's like, see ya. I didn't see him there. When did he? Was he there earlier? I only watched the co-main and Jack.
Yeah, dude, what a performance that guy had, eh? But I think he put the belt around Figueiredo, so maybe had a bit of a jippy.
Oh, he actually did it. No, actually, cold shouldered him.
So maybe he had a bit of a jippy tummy, or during the main event or something, had to get out of there. I don't know. Actually, fucking
jippy tummy. I've never heard anyone say a jippy tummy before.
I think that's the medical definition. He had a jiffy tummy. Actually, your coach Eric was in the back after that fight, screaming like how he wanted Figueiredo versus Kai Kara-France, but Izzy had to be in the corner. Don't know why. Just thought I'd share that information with you.
Who?
The little Eric with glasses. You know, Figueiredo's coach.
He wanted that fight. That guy is an idiot, absolute idiot. Like you see him like in the background of everyone's videos. Like what do you need attention for? Like me as a coach, like I can't wait to just retire, just absolutely delete all my social media and then just stand in the background. Like Eugene's living my retirement life. Like just stand in the background and don't say nothing. Like he's like always in the background. Like it's like the strangest thing to me. It's like absolute strangest. Boggles my mind.
I'll say that they have a form of there's a consistency amongst his coaching staff. There's a lot of guys interested in inserting themselves into the moment, as it were.
Yeah, inserting yourself, like his whole team does the like Ali. Hey, the Ali picture in the cage after where he comes in and just blocks your mum out. Like, see your mum. Didn't need you part of the situation anyway. Like, read the room. Like, what are these guys doing? Like, read the room. Like, this is not about the guy that forwards the emails. Like, this is not the moment for that guy.
No, listen. Hey, you only just won a world title. Move out of the way. It's my turn. Selfie. Give me that belt while we're at it, actually. No, I actually did want to ask.
I did this. He's like, I did this.
This is me. This is my title.
I forwarded that email. You wouldn't even have known about it if I didn't tag you in that email. Like, what?
Yeah. The wonderful world of MMA. Speaking of wonderful world of MMA, it was nice to see you sharing some Christmas spirit with Jon Jones. Didn't know you guys got on so well.
Hey, who comes at someone on Christmas Day? You know what I mean? It's a day for giving.
Yeah. Well, Jon Jones does.
it's a day of beers and giving. And you also don't come at me after I've had some beers. I get very. There's no defense mode anymore. It's all offense.
The head movement's gone. It's just closing your eyes and swinging.
It's just bite down and swing back. What do you expect?
It was a bit random, I have to say. I remember on Christmas Day being like, "Oh, look at these two going at it. That's friendly." Is this what baby Jesus would have wanted? I don't think so.
Baby Jesus wants drama on Christmas.
Well, I mean, he had 3 men show up at his mum's gaff. I mean, probably won't. Probably won't start slamming the Christians. Okay. Well,
Gypsy tongue.
Oh yeah, are we? Janindu's already been on to me. Are we doing a pub talk in London?
We have to.
Yeah,
we have to.
It would be wrong not
enough time. It would be insulting to the national culture.
Yeah, well, certainly. And I mean, I'm sure they won't mind us filming in a pub, but I guess in England, as opposed to Vegas, you might be more likely to hear someone be like, "What are you lot doing over there then? What are you filming? Who's that?" So that'd be a fun thing to navigate, but you know.
Hey, good pub brawl. Hey, I never hurt anyone.
That's a different show. That's the sequel. The pub talk, then
pub brawl.
Yeah.
Maybe there's a lot of fighters starting fight shows. Maybe that can be our fight show.
I think we should do a tour of London. We should go around Buckingham Palace, the big wheel, and then you can commentate on how wonderful you find them and what a lovely culture it is, and how it was definitely procured by themselves with no invasion or anything like that. You know, it was all done by them.
Without any colonization.
That we don't learn about that in school, so it never happened.
Look at this.
There's British Museum. It's in its own.
Amen.
All right, buddy. Well, I've kept you for half an hour, and that was longer than I anticipated. But you know, it's been fun to catch up, and I'll let you get on with your day.
Off to training, then. Back to training.
Is it? Well, yeah. Actually, one I suppose I should ask. Featherweight. Is it going to be more training or better diet? I know you got your. I saw you saying with fork it, which I enjoyed very much. But are you like nervous about the weight cut, especially with the travel, or you just think, fuck it, we know what to do. We'll get down there.
I didn't even ask them if that has to be why they named the company that, right? Fuck it.
Yeah, because I think
it has to be, right?
Well, in their bio, it says,
I didn't like run it past them or anything. I just started walking around and saying, fuck it. But it has to be, right? Like if they're like, "Oh, Dan, could you actually say it in 2 words?" Like I'll just be like, "What?" I just assumed that you said you would. That's why you named it that. Nah, it's like just like a little bit more diet, a little bit less beers. It's not even that hard.
No, I think they say if you're forking hungry on their bio, so presumably they must know. If they don't know, they should.
They have to.
They should rename it.
They have to. Yeah. They have to. They have to know I'm in the spirit of the company.
There you go. All right, buddy. It was good catching up. I'll chat to you soon, and I guess I'll see you in sunny London.
Come on, England! Come on, England!
Oh,
yeah. I know some English sayings.
Yeah, we'll have to teach you some of the.
You want anything from the shop? Like I know the terms of phrase.
Yeah, and we all say cunt anyway, so just go back to that if you don't have anything else.
It's a go-to.
Yeah.
All right, brother.